years for this to go live, so I'm guessing that this isn't going to be an easy night, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on. Yeah, like it's refreshing and stuff again. Why is it doing that? Because your internet connection sucks because you chose to live out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I got my question box open. Okay, I can do this. Got the question box open. I can do this. The internet is very slow. Please don't hate me. Good evening, ambiguous intent. Okay. Hello! I'm just reading through the questions that we've got, because there's several of them. And I am wearing a tank top tonight. I realize that I look just great in my tank top and my like sports bra, but it's hot in my office. It's really hot in my office. Like I think the vent in my office is the one that's closest to like the furnace downstairs. And so all the heat goes like into this room, which is terrible. It's absolutely awful. Okay. What do we have on the, hello! What do we have on the menu? Let's see. Oh, wow. Let's take a look. Where did I put my cards? I came down here earlier to get ready for Drunk Tarot or for Fitshaced Fortuneteller, and I was like, hey, what's up? I did not bring my tarot cards, although I guess I do have a box right there. All right. So anyway, let's go. Well, I guess I should. I'm shuffling because I had to like reorder the deck because my dog got a hold of the cards. So some of my trusty cards got like holes in them from the puppy chewing on them. You cannot say this deck has not lived. Whee! And if you don't have a question in yet, you can go put a question in because I actually put the link to the question box in the description of this. So that should be great. That should work out fantastic. All right. So the first question that we'll do tonight is for G. A whole lot of parts of my life are changing, growing, or otherwise in transition. Where should I be focusing my energy right now? That's an excellent question. Let's do 3 cards for where you should be focusing your energy. They take a little bit more shuffling tonight because of the fact that they were all in order to make sure that they were there. Okay. Here we go. Again on our own. So, whole lot of parts of my life are changing, growing, or otherwise in transition. Where should I be focusing my energy now? So where should G be focusing their energy right now? Where should G be focusing their energy right now? Anybody drinking with me tonight? Oh, holy shit. Okay. So, when you say that things are changing and are otherwise in transition, like these are the first 2 cards that came up, okay? So like, yeah, shit is changing and you have no control over it. And that's bazonkers. I mean, like, that's like, I don't want to like be the doom and gloom, but you have like no control over what's happening in terms of focus. So focus on your work because there's literally nothing you can do in this situation. The wheels have fallen off. Like, this is definitely a situation of, you know, where you have zero control. Your actions have zero control over the outcome of the situation that you are currently in. Just keep your head down, keep working the best you can. Ta-da. So, drinking peppermint tea. I'll show you what I'm drinking. I don't know if I was drinking these last week or not, but they're awesome. And I don't like those Truly seltzers. But this one, like they made a lemonade one. It's like lemonade hard seltzer. And then they have like fruit lemonade flavors, and it's perfect. It's great. It's like a Mike's, but not as sugary tasting. You know what I mean? So these are great. They're a little tart. But I'd rather something be tart than super sweet. I don't like sweet, like really sweet stuff. I like more like bitter stuff and sour stuff. But not too sour, because sour can actually be a trigger for my epilepsy, believe it or not. All right, that was actually a pretty easy one. That was actually a pretty easy reading, because it was like, yo, you better just chill out on this. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay, so let's see. Edit. Delete row 3. Okay. All right. This one is for Zev. Every time I try to start on my current play, I spiral off into a boring but weird plotless story. It's a second chance romance with a Jewish couple, own voices. I'm making it too complicated. What should I do? So 3 cards to see what should be done for this person's play. Like 3 cards. What do they need to focus on? Oh, I'm dropping everything. It's all in my crotch. The cards say, get in my pants. Okay, here we go. Zev's complicated play. 3 things to avoid making it too complicated. 3 things, 3 things that are going to make the writing of this play easier. Okay, so the first thing that comes up is the 4 of Swords reversed. 4 of Swords is generally about rest and whatever, and taking time to contemplate. But this is kind of saying in the reverse that you're kind of exhausted with the concept. And that at this point is kind of what the issue is. As a result, you might want to take a little bit of a break, look over some other writing that you've done. Appreciate appreciate the things you've done and look back on the things that you're happy with that you've written, because, and this is just common sense advice. I could have probably said that without a tarot card, but you do need to take a break from this project, because it is doing more of a, it's going to start affecting other areas of your work. So look at the things that you enjoy that you've done in the past. Just sneak right back. It's still going to be there. Like this guy is taking these swords, right? Like, I'm leaving with these swords, but I want to get these 2 swords. Those 2 swords are still going to be there. So the play is still going to be there when you come back to it. You're not going to forget your ideas. You're not going to forget anything like that. So, what up, Mark? Is here to fuck shit up. Anyway, that's for Zev, and that is the reason that is just take a break. Take a break from that play. Remember what it is you like about writing and the things that you, yeah, right? Like, I'll sing anything. I'll sing anything. I'll be like my kid, and I'll come out to my kitchen and sing to you thinking that you're going to be the musical director for the next show. That was so funny. So one time, Mark was the musical director for a show that my daughter did. And then he came and dog sat my dogs while we were on vacation once. And then when he came over to get the key, my daughter ran into the kitchen and was singing or something. And I'm like, what are you doing? Later on, I was like, what are you doing? It was she was straight up oh yeah, he might be the musical director for Into the Woods. What are you doing? That's so mercenary. So here's the thing that I'm gonna share with you. Is it's another one of my 95-cent wish things. And it's the Witch's Wisdom Oracle cards. right there. And I got them because I just kind of want to check them out and see what's up with them. I mean, like, I feel bad because I do order from Wish, and I know that these are probably like rip-off cards. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're probably like pirated, and that makes me feel bad. But at the same time, I do like to be able to review decks and tell people what I think about them, or like be able to give, what I, and I like, and so I just feel like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna get some of these, and I don't know. I don't have a problem buying Doreen Virtue stuff that's bootleg, because any of the royalties she's going to get from you buying like a deck of Doreen Virtue cards or a Doreen Virtue book or anything like that, that money that she makes from that, she turns around and puts into some really disturbing evangelical charities that you absolutely, I mean, like, don't want to give your money to them. Maybe that doesn't bother you. But so I'm just saying, I think the ones on Wish are pirated. Anyway, this is a deck that, I don't know. It just kind of screams Silver Raven Wolf. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think it's published by Llewellyn. Yeah, I don't see anything on it but a lot of it is just like, feels very, like, you probably can't see it very good. It's probably very pixelated. But a lot of it is quite, and it's very Wicca based. It says the witch's wisdom, but it's very much about Wicca. Like, it's got stuff in there in the guidebook about the threefold rule. There's stuff about like the holidays, things like that, like Mabon or Mabon or what, I don't know, because I'm not Wiccan. I don't know how they say that. But it's all of those things, You're already tipsy? Awesome. What are you drinking? What are you drinking, Maggie? I have to say, I know you probably have heard this before, Maggie, but every time I see your last name, I think of Lord Farquaad. Anyway, this is the Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck. It does have some cool cards, but, like, it's touchy-feely, like an Oracle deck always is. And, I'm divided on touchy-feely kind of stuff. Yes, it does, yeah, like very Silver Raven Wolf, but it's not hers. It's not hers at all. It's like 5 billion other people. Anyway, so that was the story about that deck. All right. He's like talked about that deck for like ever and ever and ever. Mindwalker. What's that? What's my husband Mindwalker? I would very much like to know about that. I think that when I got turned off of the Silver Raven Wolf thing was her book for teenagers. And the reason was because there was information in there about like seeking out covens and seeking out like stuff like that, like in your community. But there was also a part about like, you don't have to tell your parents that you're doing this in another part of the book. And I thought, don't say that. Like, I don't care if somebody keeps it from their, I don't care if somebody like keeps their religion from their parents and stuff and is exploring it, but I wouldn't necessarily encourage a kid to, like a teenager, to get involved in a local pagan community and then be like, oh, but you don't have to tell your parents that you're going to be around all these adults who sometimes do not have the best of intentions, which can be found anywhere, but it's very easy to use paganism to groom people into stuff they don't necessarily need to be doing for you. And I mean, heck, look at Buckland. You're not a real witch unless you let me kiss your genitals. Excuse me? Is what his Wiccan name. Oh, I see. You were kind of like, oh, Mindwalker. Maven, is that what it is? Yeah, I'm not Wiccan, so I don't know. Every once in a while, there'll be like an equinox or something, and I'll be like, what? Is that today? Was that today? All right, so the next thing, let me remove that row, because do you see how I have not yet said, hey, have we done this one yet? Yeah. Yeah, I had a really embarrassing, like, when I first started out, like, with, like, witchcraft and stuff, a really embarrassing, like, witchcraft name. And I did start out, like, Wicca was the back door to, like, but then I was like, oh, I don't want to do all this bullshit, and I have to, like, the earth, and, like, all of this shit, I gotta recycle, this is way too fucking much. And then I was like, I'm just gonna do my own thing. Oh, that Fairy Oracle deck. Okay, so the Froud deck, That's interesting. I mean, like an interesting. We met Brian Froud. We went to a bookstore. I mean, he was doing a book signing up in Traverse City, and so we were like, "Oh, we're gonna go meet Brian Froud." So I brought I think one of my books and my DVD of Labyrinth, and that was all. And Bronwyn Green gets in the car, and she has a freaking huge bag. Like, she usually has a huge bag anyway, but so she has her huge purse, and she has another huge purse, and they're all full of books. And she literally looked like the trash lady from Labyrinth. And when I say that, I mean she looked like the trash lady, because this was the summer. It was like August. So she was like sweating and gross looking, and she's like hunched over, and she's like trudging into the thing. And she brought, I swear to God, 16 or 17 things for this man to sign. It took him like an hour and a half to sign all of our stuff, but we were the only ones there. Like, Brian Froud and Wendy Froud were there, and people didn't come. It was like just us. So he drew, when he signs your books, I guess he draws in them, and so he drew a little goblin in my book. So that was very cool. Yeah. He was very nice. They were like super nice. His wife is super nice. We like asked them about Toby, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's like 21 now," because this was quite some time ago. And yeah, and he's doing this, and he's blah blah blah. And I'm like, this is wild. We're just standing here talking to the Frouds. We're standing here talking to the freaking Frouds. So it was magical. It just happened to be on a day, I guess, when the town had a whole different, had like this big thing going on. It was in Traverse City, and it was some big festival they had going on. So everybody was at the big festival, and nobody was coming into this bookstore where Brian and Wendy Froud were. About an hour and a half after right around the time we left, because literally an hour and a half, that's when somebody else came in. So. And Bronwyn Green, I will always make fun of. And hopefully she will see this and at least watch this far into the video and see me roast her about her freaking bag lady thing. She did. She looked just like the trash lady. Like, her hair was like all frizzy and like plastered to the sides of her face. And she's like, "Ugh." All her treasures upon her back. Like a freaking weirdo. Okay. I've been at my job 16 years and wondering if it's time to look for something new. Okay, this is for David. He wants to know if it's time to look for something new in his job. Is it time to look for something new for David? Should David look for something new? Well, David, it looks like the problem is more internal than external. What we've got going on here is three reverses. I say this, I think, every time I read, but yes, I am on tonight. The reversed cards, if all the cards in a reading or a majority of the cards in a reading are reversed, I will always read them as being an internal thing as opposed to an external thing. So when I'm looking at these three cards coming up, they're all reverses. The first one is the Three of Swords. I feel like you've been at your job 15 years or 16 years, wondering if it's time to look for something new. Something has happened recently that really disappointed you in this job. That's why this card is coming up here. There's disappointment in something. Maybe there was a choice that was made at work. Maybe there was a restructuring. Maybe your position got moved or changed or something. And it just was like a kind of a blow. Whatever this thing was, maybe you got passed over for a promotion. There was some kind of blow to make you start down this train of thought. So the next one up is the Moon reversed. This has a lot to do with paranoia. This has a lot to do with fear of the unknown. This has, especially, like, look at the imagery. There's two, like, on both sides. Okay, here, let's pretend you're the lobster or crayfish, or we're going to just say it's a lobster. It's got like 8 legs. Do lobsters have 8 legs? I don't know. So you're a spider lobster. You're a long spider. You're a long water spider. So you're a long water spider and you're going to go up this path, right? Well, on both sides of the path, it's exactly the same. There's the same dangers. There's basically the same. And look at that, like, sort of industrial looking building thing happening right there. Okay. So there is a fear of the unknown and a fear that, you might be leaving one situation for the exact same situation. Will anything really change? And then the whole, should I leave? Because what if nothing does change and all of that stuff? The last card to come up in your thing is the Queen of Wands reversed. So the Queen of Wands is a card that almost universally gives me a different meaning every time I look at it. The first thing that I'm looking at here, the first thing that caught my eye is the cat, the little black cat at the bottom. So what I'm looking at here, Jenny EXE stopped functioning for a minute. So what I'm seeing here is that they have 8 legs and 2 arms. Are the arms the claws? Or are the arms something else? Like, do the arms, they have 2 littler arms underneath? I know you're not a lobster scientist, Mark, but I mean, you know a lot of stuff about a lot of things. This might be. So you might know the lobster thing. The arms are the claws. So the claws are like their hands. Can they like pick shit up, or is it just specifically for pinching? Like if I gave a lobster a pencil, well, yeah, I guess so, because I've seen things of lobsters like holding steak knives or something. So I guess they could hold. Why would you give a lobster a steak knife? So it seems like fighting with each other, or fighting like for fun. Like, are they in the ocean, or like 2 people put 2 lobsters together? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm a little curious about the latter. Okay, anyway, back to this reading. What I'm looking at is someone who, they're sitting there, they've got a cat. Cats are very finicky. The cat was the first thing that jumped out. It looks to me like this is a problem that can be taken care of with just a little bit more patience, a little bit more self-reflection, and don't make any rash decisions until you get over whatever this was. Or not even get over, but what, like, oh, Tammy. Tammy said lobsters are ready to rumble, and the first thing I imagined was West Side Story, but like with claws. So it'd be like snap, snap. Like they'd be like, you know, like snap, snapping as they like came up to each other to like get into a rumble. And with that, Jen rewrote West Side Story in her head completely with lobsters. If you were going to cast West Side Story but with solely seafood, well, you've already got the sharks. Okay? So no change there. They all become sharks. The jets, I guess we could make them the lobsters. They could be like crustaceans. I'm not incoherent enough yet. Anyway, basically, what you're going to need to do is focus like here. You're going to need to really examine whether or not leaving would have a positive change. Like, duh, Jenny, anybody could tell you this, right? But bullet shrimp. I just can't stop thinking about West Side Story. Anyway, which is usual, just in general. I usually can't think of. Before I put a cap on this reading, which is taking forever, but that's okay, let me say something about West Side Story. I know Steven Spielberg is redoing West Side Story. That's fantastic. I am so disappointed because I really thought that it would be cool if there was a revival. Okay, there was a revival back after In the Heights where Lin-Manuel Miranda rewrote the songs, like on the Sharks side, in Spanish. They had Spanish lyrics. And I thought, oh my God, that would be so cool if they would do that for the movie. And from what I understand, they didn't do that. I'm like, oh, that would have been so neat. The other is that there was a revival of Fiddler on the Roof, and it was all in Yiddish. I desperately wanted to see that. So if anybody, it's closed. So if anybody knows of a boot or anything like that, I would just die. Because I don't think they recorded it. There might not even be a recording. Yeah, West Side Story is being remade right now. But why would they, instead of singing Mambo, why would they sing Gumbo? That's like for they would be eaten. Anyway. So, anyway, yeah. So what this is basically saying is right now you've just taken way too heavy of a hit to make a decision that could lead to a similar situation. And oh yeah, Gwen Stefani, no doubt. Because Steven Spielberg doing it, like, I mean, he did, like, I don't know, he just seems more respectful of people's cultures, I feel like, sometimes, than most directors. Like, he doesn't insert himself into the narrative. Scarjo can play Maria. That's hilarious. Today on Twitter, I saw someone post a thing where there's a girl who looks like who looks like Scarlett Johansson, but I didn't like read to see like her whole history, but she's a person of color, but she was like the brown version of Scarlett Johansson, and somebody was like, maybe she can play Scarlett Johansson in a movie. If they remake Little Shop of Horrors, it better be with the right ending. End of story. Don't feed the plants. Anyway, take some time off, not time off from your job, but take some time to really contemplate, figure out if you are trying to leave one bad situation for another because of one disappointment. Hopefully that works. Yeah, wasn't she the little girl, like that they cast as Maria? Wasn't she the one that had recorded herself on Instagram singing Shallow and it went viral? Oh my God. ScarJo. That cracks me up. She did say she could play a tree, Marilyn. She did say at one point. Yeah, Rachel Zegler. Yeah. She had done like a viral Instagram video or something of her singing Shallow. She just blew me away. I was like, oh, well, yeah, she's a good choice. And she's not like fucking 30. So that's good too. Like they picked an actual, like an actual little girl to play a little girl. It's incredible. So I'm excited about West Side Story. Nobody in my life gets excited about it. Or are you watching that video now? That video is sick. Drop a link to it right here if you can, so that other people can see it. All right. Now we're going to do edit. Let's see. Delete. Rotu. Chachi. I don't know if Chachi is still in here or not. But if Chachi is still in, well, I'll just tell him that it's at like the halfway mark or something. Should I start a small business? Let's see what's Chachi's outlook if he starts a small business. Oh, I heard that they were like, oh, ScarJo could be Audrey. And I'm like, freaking, are you kidding me? Lady Gaga is right there. Lady Gaga is clearly meant for the role of Audrey. Clearly. Why do I still have my keyboard right here? I don't need this for anything. I'm not typing. I'm drinking. All right, this is for Chachi's if he does a business thing. No, don't do it. Do I need to go into it? Don't do it. You're not focused enough. You're going to end up creating a bunch of bullshit hassle, and it's going to rock shit up. So don't do it. I can do a fast one like that for Chachi because he's my friend and he understands everything I just said. Okay. Sorry I'm sniffing so much. I think today I went outside, so that was a real issue. That was a real disappointment. Taron Egerton, he is too handsome to be Seymour. We need to get, like, there's got to be a nerd out there. Some desperate nerd. It's me. I'm the desperate nerd. Hire me to be Seymour. Right? Like he can't be Seymour because it wouldn't be believable that Audrey wouldn't want to fuck him. Like, of course, granted, if you had Chris Evans as Orange Crivello, that would make sense. Okay. Hey, I used to sing Suddenly Seymour at karaoke with my friend Lars a lot. And if my husband was there, my husband and I would sing it together. But if Lars was there, it was me and Lars. And that was our song. And then the bar where we used to do karaoke got burned down. Well, her intonation in the upper range, yeah, but I feel like if she's not on a phone and she's actually being coached by a good musical director, she'll probably be fine. It's not going to be a tragedy like Emmy Rossum and freaking Phantom of the Opera, where it's like, hey, you know what? I can't hear her because my eyes will shatter. There's something about her voice makes my eyes vibrate. Okay. That's true. Hollywood does auto-tune. Which I wish they wouldn't. Because actually, it's not even just Hollywood. It's so much stuff. Like, there's a production of Jesus Christ Superstar from the O2 Arena, and it had Tim Minchin as Judas. And he was great as Judas. And I've seen clips of it that people took, like, on their phones. Okay, and he sounded great and passionate and cool. And then they put it out on like a DVD, like they released it like as a DVD and a digital release, and they auto-tuned him, and it took literally like all of the character out of his voice. So it just sounded like he was doing a Murray Head impression, basically. Well, I'm livid that they did Beauty and the Beast at all. Damn, it just got horny in Maine in the tarot chat tonight. Horny on Maine in the tarot chat. Okay, there, that wasn't so good, was it? It was not. So good news, I'm trying to get a little bit more up there. So, today, my 11-year-old child, went to like a solo ensemble type music festival thing where you get judged for vocal performance. And she got the highest mark possible, which is 5 points and a superior from the judge. And then the judge was like, I'm teaching a workshop at 10:15. Would you like to come sing at the workshop? And so she did. Renee Zellweger in Chicago hurts my feelings. I felt like Renee Zellweger pulled it off in that. I think she was actually, I liked her in that because she was so desperate. She had teeny peepers back then, though. She still has kind of teeny peepers. Teeny peepers. All right. So, anyway, I feel like I'm really on track tonight, which means I need to drink a little bit more. I won't pass along the congratulations because you're not allowed to compliment her in any way. She has like Billy Joel, she has a no compliments rule. She has a no compliments rule. In fact, she came out and she argued when she came out of the room. She argued that she should not have gotten a superior. That was bad call on the judge's part because of this mistake and this mistake and this mistake and this mistake. So. The Les Mis movie, I'm so torn on because there were so many things that were right. Like so many things that I, as a fan, wanted to see in a Les Mis movie. Like at the end, where people are going to tune in and be like, what? So, anyway, like the end, the big scene at the end, the do you hear the people sing reprise at the very end, was exactly the way I had always imagined it in my mind. It was great. And then there was like Anne Hathaway, and she was fantastic. And then there was the big thing was at the end when Valjean dies. I have always hated that the person that comes back to him, or Fantine comes and then Eponine comes. He met Eponine one time and he didn't know who she was. He thought she was a boy because she was in disguise. He took a letter and then he's like, be careful. And then all of a sudden she's showing up at his dying bedside. That didn't make any sense. And then I researched it. Do you know why that happened? Do you know why it's written that way? For the dumbest fucking reason. Because the show was so long, it caused a lot of overtime. So the guy that played the bishop didn't perform after a certain time at night, so they didn't have to pay him the overtime. And that's why Eponine comes out at the end. That's stupid. So, anyway, the holistic fair in Kazu. Next week, I will be going to Frozen Junior at the Kalamazoo Civic because some of my little people I'm so proud of got into it. And they're from the other theater group that I'm in, and I really am psyched to see my girl Delaney playing Anna in Frozen Junior. So, anyway, it made more sense at the end of the Les Mis movie for the bishop to come out and see him than to, do that whole rigmarole. Like, the bishop was arguably the biggest influence in his life. So to have Eponine just show up instead of the bishop is ridiculous. All right. Wasn't Milos Forman like a pedophile? Am I thinking? No, I'm thinking of Roman Polanski, not Milos Forman. I don't know. Probably both, to be honest. Because Milos Forman put a lot of young ladies in his movies. Yeah, and then she has that. Then my daughter has a singing engagement. Right. I'll do that. Mark, I'll like send you a video via like Facebook Messenger, and I'll be like, yo, I'm auditioning. Tell me what you think. And you'll be like, it's 3:30 in the goddamn morning. I don't care. All right. I'm a young lawyer, and this is MT. I'm a young lawyer, and my first ever trial was supposed to start Monday, but it got delayed. Uh-oh. It's supposed to be rescheduled. That's in my dramatic reading. Soon, we hope. But what can I expect? What are you trying out for? Don't try out for the same thing as me. I'm trying out for LeFou. Who are you trying out for, Mark? Don't say LeFou. I'm trying out for LeFou. You're trying out for LeFou, aren't you, Mark? God damn it. Okay. Yeah, you should though. Kelly always wants you to sing something. I just threw all my cards on the floor. I threw them on the ground. I'm an adult. Okay. The wardrobe. All right. There's another thing. Before I do this, I've done like 2 readings and I've told you all my musical opinions. But what pisses me off just is that in the Beauty and the Beast movie, the remake with Emma Watson and the guy who wasn't that great of a singer who ruined Downton Abbey with his selfishness, they are you gonna be okay out there? Anyway, the point of the matter is that they put Audra McDonald in this fucking movie and had her sing like 24 measures. Who does that? Who does that? Anyway, I know. Yeah, he ruined Downton Abbey. He ruined it. Ruined. We had to watch a fucking parade of dicks Mary was trying to catch for the rest of the goddamn show. All right, so this is what MT, our young lawyer, needs to expect from their first trial. like it's more quiet than it usually is. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is the sun reversed. This is now the sun is like the best card, I think. In my opinion, the sun is the best card that you can get out of the whole tri-crack. I like the part of that when they're listing off the symptoms you should use crack for, and they're like, or just plain not high. Anyway, the sun reversed, right? Okay, so the sun I always say is a great card to get in the deck. Look at my dog ate it. It's paper punch through right the eye. She's a pit bull. She went for the face. That's a joke. I love pit bulls. That's a joke. I know they're not evil. So this one is though, because she eats everything. She ate my tarot cards. She's the fucking devil. But even when it's reversed and it has less of a, I think what this is that what this is indicating is that the trial, you're not going to be unhappy with it, but it's not going to go, like, it's not going to be as exciting and monumental in your mind as you expected. Like, it's going to be fine, but you're going to walk away kind of like, could have gone better. And, that wasn't as thrilling as I expected it to be. That's kind of what. And I think a part of that, we've got the King of Wands here, which I think is a fairly good, it's weird Judgment didn't come up. I think this is a fairly good sign that it could be just a case of someone in the courtroom. I mean, like, obviously I think the judge, because of where the guy is sitting, but there's going to be some sort of influence in the courtroom that's very forceful, very seasoned, and that's probably going to make you feel like a little bit small, like you're going to feel like you came off weak. But ultimately, I mean, you're not going to be like devastated. The Tower didn't come up. It wasn't like the Tower, the devil, death, something like that. It was just like, like the Tower, it's a fucking nightmare. The devil, oh, you're enslaved to this career forever. Death, you need a fucking major change. Oh, the question was how this person's upcoming trial, how MT's upcoming trial is going to be. So anyway, that's kind of what you can expect. It's not going to be a disaster, but it's not going to be some thrilling, like, oh my gosh, this completely justifies law school. Completely, and you're not going to have this feeling of, no, suddenly I am a lawyer, that you might be expecting to have, because I think you're going to get in there and you're going to be like, oh shit, I've still got like a lot of seasoning that I need. Okay. What up, Taya? Yeah, YouTube can suck a dick. Apparently, if YouTube sucks a dick, it's going to be Taron Egerton's dick, because that's who everybody's horny for right now, which I don't get. He looks like a little boy. I don't understand it. But it's just like everybody thinks Ryan Gosling is so hot, and I'm like, I could find 4 guys that look just like him down at the Richland bowling alley tomorrow night. They're missing teeth, but they're there. All right. I still only had one of these. Still only have one of these. How's everybody else who's drinking? How's everybody else? I'm getting there. The problem is I ate like 3 pieces of pizza. So. My goodness. My goodness. Well. You're eating an edible? Oh, man. I'm going to have to do edibles on the writing retreat, because the guy we're renting from is like an cardiopulmonary surgeon. And he's like, absolutely no smoking at all of any kind. And I'm like, dude, I can respect that, right? Well, we have to stay at a new place this year because the other place is being sold because of a divorce. It's a whole thing. So our beautiful, magical retreat place is gone. So we're going to go to a new, beautiful, magical retreat place. But but no smoking, because the guy was like a former cardiopulmonary surgeon. which I get, right? That's cool. He doesn't want anybody smoking. So I'm just going to be eating edibles the whole time. And probably I'll be on mushrooms. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. My goodness has nothing to do with it. No, I don't mean I was bad like by eating pizza. I just mean I ate 3 pizzas and that makes it three pieces of pizza, and that made it harder to get drunk. If you have a whole bunch of pizza in your gut, it's hard to get drunk. I don't think it's a moral failing. If I'd had more time, I would have eaten way more than 3 pieces. Jesus Christ. I'm like that scene in Selena. I can eat a whole medium pizza by myself. All right. The pizza gets drunk first. Exactly. The pizza soaks that shit up. Okay. This is for she. I'm just going to say she because that's what they put in there. Is my upcoming move going to be a good thing? Is my upcoming move going to be a good thing? Not mine, cards. Talking about the other. Okay. Is her job thing going to be it? Wow! Okay. So your upcoming move is it going to be a good thing? It's going to be kind of stressful. Ultimately, you're going to be happy when it's over. But right now, not so great. You're also going to have a little bit of trouble, I believe, with there's going to be somebody who doesn't want you to make forward progress, basically. So what I'm seeing here is that there's a woman involved who is probably going to hang you up in a few different places. You just need to be quick on your feet. But this is someone who is going to hang you up somehow, either by creating a problem with the physicality of the move or messing with the psychological thing. Yeah, why are you? You're supposed to be drunk, Mark, or high. Come on, get it together. All right. Mama Cozy. I always say I had DiGiorno taste on a Mama Cozy budget. And if you don't get that joke, congratulations, you make a living wage. Okay, so the Queen of Swords reversed, all right, is I'm seeing that there's going to be some sort of female influence that tries to create roadblocks somehow, whether, like I said, with the physicality of the move or with your psychological state regarding the move. So you're going to need some help, and you're going to need some extra support getting through this. If you're relying on whoever this is to be the helpful one, you need some backup to sort of guide you through it, so that this is more like this. You're 6 feet tall. I thought you were like my height, Jenny says. Because she says it to all of her friends, including the ones that are a lot taller and a lot shorter. Like, I don't know how long Mr. Jen and I were together before I realized we weren't the same height. Like, he towers over me. And he's so handsome. What are you guys doing? What game? What game? Oh, Borderlands. Like, we're playing a game. Yeah, I know. What are you playing? I thought he was going to say GTA, and that's why he wasn't answering. You're playing Borderlands. Okay. All right. Now, Eric wants to know, well, this one's kind of sad. Will my family survive this, or will they be separated? Let's get an outlook for Eric's family. Will Eric's family be... Give us an outlook for Eric's family. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with your family. Right off the bat, I see it concerns a few things. We've got the Nine of Wands reversed. Okay, so the Nine of Wands guy, he's like battered and bruised, but he's sort of, the way that I'm seeing it is like, the way that I'm interpreting it in my head right now is building a fence and, you know, almost safe, almost completed the barrier, almost completed this, but it's reversed. So what's apparently happening is somebody got their barriers or their security, somebody got their security knocked down hard, like hard. I don't know if it's monetary. I don't know if it's, I don't know if it has to do with maybe someone left someone or something like that. But there's definitely a feeling here that it was security. Was someone peek at the post for tonight? Well, I want to see it. What is it? I want to see it. Okay, when I'm done with this reading, because it's pretty serious, I'm gonna go look at it. All right. So, Nine of Wands. Okay, so yeah, the Nine of Wands reversed makes me think, yeah, somebody's like security got knocked down. At the same time, Nine of Cups shows someone pretty happy with where they are emotionally. And it's followed by the Page of Pentacles, which makes me go, okay, is this trying to tell me that it's a money thing? I'm going to lay down a few more cards. We'll do 3 more cards on this so I can get a clearer picture. Okay. All right. Okay, now your family's going to get through it just fine. That's the thing I'm going to preface right now. What I'm seeing here is it looks like, was somebody cheating? Is that what I'm seeing? Because I've got the Three of Swords reversed. And in this case, specifically having to do with a family and saying, is my family going to get ripped apart by this? I kind of feel like maybe this was also when I first picked this up and I was thinking about it, I thought separate bank accounts popped into my head. So we've got Strength reversed right after this, which makes me think that, yeah, someone cheated somewhere, but it's not going to rip the family apart. Okay. Things might change. Things might be different, but ultimately you're underneath this happy rainbow of good emotions. So sorry that happened. I don't know if that's like what happened or if I'm totally misreading that, but it just doesn't look good on paper. But it's not something that's going to ruin everything for your entire life. Okay. Okay. All right. I want to go see the thing. The thing in, I feel like I'm leaving you because I went to another window. I feel like, oh my God, I left them and went to another window. Are you still there? Did I leave you? Okay, I'm supposed to go look at this thing in the thing. Let's do this. A link you shared, commented on your video, something. Come on. I'm Jenny Trout's link. Ah! That was perfect. That was perfect. Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh, it took me a minute. I was like, yeah. And then I looked closer and I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. Everybody go look at it. Go look at the Facebook. Okay. We already did the move. Okay. Sleep Road 2. All right. On the Facebook post for this specific link to this video on my Jenny Trout author page, you will see it, and it's hilarious. right. KE wants to spy on their incurable tosspot friend. And we'll call her Mary. Because her name is close to a friend on a TV show. Anyway. Okay, so here we go. Just nothing in particular, just what's going on with this incurable tosspot. All right, she has some legal troubles she's going through. By justice reversed is what I'm thinking. She's ultimately going to prevail and get over this hump of whatever legal thing is going on. Is it a DUI? Is it parking tickets? Is it something traffic related? Because that's a very strong sense I'm getting, is that it's something traffic related. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. This could all be fucking fake. Who knows? But it looks like she's going to come through it. And we've also got the Eight of Cups reversed, meaning she will walk away from this with nothing. She will not learn anything from this experience at all. So that is how it's going to go. That's how it's going to go. Hey, the cat's being attacked. The puppy was like, oh, they're not paying attention. I'll go ahead and chew on the cat for a minute. That's what they do. That is what they do. Okay. Edit. Delete row 2. I feel like I'm really focused tonight, she said after she talked about musicals for a half hour. It's weird. It smells like, I don't know. All right. Someone wants to know, is my neighbor interested in me? And that's a yes or no question, isn't it? And yes or no questions aren't good for tarot. So what I'm going to ask instead is, how does my neighbor feel about me? And because I think I know who this is, I'm going to pull out some specialty cards. Blah, 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 blah. So allow me. I just feel like these might give you a, what do you call it? Like a, they might connect to you. They might connect to you. All right. Oh my gosh, who is, oh my God, who is that? Who is that? Oh. Listen to Facebook. I am listening. Okay. So, what are neighbors' intentions? What are the neighbors' intentions? Oh. Well, I would say positive. When I show you this, you will know why I picked this deck for you. What you got is the sun. And here we have two happy little skeletons. Two happy little mariachi skeletons underneath a beautiful skull sun with a hummingbird. Okay. I am very silly. I'm super silly. But the sun is a great card to get. I mean, look at these guys are having a great time. These guys are rocking out. Look at them. They're just like enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the hummingbird, enjoying everything going on. So this guy has, like, you know, he likes you. He's got good intentions. I don't know if it's romantic, but he, you know, he doesn't dislike you. He doesn't think you're annoying. He doesn't like hate you or anything like that. But the star reversed is what gets me. So let's take a look at the star reversed. In this particular artist has used this imagery. Okay, now I wish that what do you call it? That I knew a little bit more about culture and stuff and why the artist would have used this. So I don't want to say like, oh, that's Aztec specifically, because it might be Mayan, you know, who knows? I'm just really bad at that kind of stuff. But definitely in some sort of indigenous Mexican indigenous people outfit, okay, in a what's a word for something that's not a puddle, but it's not a lake? Pond. In a pond, okay, and there are skeleton fish down there and everything. And so what I'm looking at, and I'm like, oh, and there's a very cool star in the sun. So what I'm getting from the star here, okay, is that we're talking about someone who and this is because it's reversed. I'm thinking this is someone who doesn't really know how to maybe navigate making new friends or becoming close, because the star is a lot about inspiration, creativity, stuff like that. I'm getting the sense from this card that specifically, because the skeleton is shrugging, I'm just kind of thinking, it just feels like this is someone that is not, they don't really have the emotional intelligence. That's a good way to put it. That's now it's formed in my mind. They don't have really the emotional intelligence at this point for a solid relationship foundation anyway. And then the last card is the Empress. Dun, 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 the Empress. Okay. So we're looking at the Empress here. And oh, she's wearing a sandal. Like a flip-flop. She's wearing like a, oh, see? She's wearing like a flip-flop on her skeletos. So looking at the Empress here, I'm guessing that this is somebody that has mommy issues maybe a little bit. Someone who might, if they were in a relationship, be, yeah. What's funny is that this is like the motherhood card, and like pretty much any person I know, like that has like Mexican parents, you know, will say that, like, you know, like stuff about the shoes, you know. Anyway, it's the oh, it's the Santa Muerte tarot. I thought it was like some like different name, like the tarot of blah blah blah, but it's just the Santa Muerte tarot. So anyway, what I'm looking at here is that this is someone who would be looking for a replacement in money, basically. If you get into a relationship with this person, or you pursue a relationship with this person, it is pretty much they treat their partners like parents. So I saw that. I saw that. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right. All right, let's see. Yeah, so I would say if your neighbor was interested in you, you probably want to steer clear of that fucking situation, because they are not looking for a partner. They are looking for a caretaker. I very much like these cards because I very much enjoy death. I think I've talked about that on here before, that death is, I don't know, death is just a thing for me. It could have been because I saw someone desecrate a corpse when I was a child. It's not could have been. My therapist says that's why. And it was, but anyway, so I like things that have death imagery, and I like death deities, and I like representations of death personified. I like all of that stuff. I am excited. I don't want to die, but I am excited about seeing what happens when I do. I am super, like, I just want answers. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want to know. You guys want to know? Like, I just want to know. Yeah. Oh yeah, my house is like full of random bones and shit. Pet ashes. Pet ashes. Sammy dog. The only dog allowed in my office. Still. Yeah, no, I mean, I just really like death. I mean, like, and the thing is like with mediumship, like, I guess it's never occurred to me to ask, hey, what happens when you die? Other people have asked, can you ask them what happens? And they're like, oh, it's awesome. Like, one guy literally, that was like his thing for his wife. He said, it was awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. So I'm like, that's cool, I guess, but I'm excited to find out eventually. Just not for a while, because I have a lot of shit to do. Because I came up with a new idea for more books. I've still got to finish the centaur thing, that centaur ridiculousness that I'm doing. I mean, I've got a lot of irons in the fucking fire. Like, I haven't even gotten to Blade Trasket's book yet. Because Blade Trasket needs to get a redemption arc. He has to pay for the evil that he perpetrates in the business centaur's virgin temp. That's right. When I die, I want to be thrown off a pontoon boat into Lake Superior, which is shockingly very easy to do and not illegal. If you want to bury someone in a body of water, the rule is they have to be 7 nautical miles off of any shore, from like the nearest, point of, like, so if there's like a cove, from these points, you have to be 7 nautical miles from those points, and you have to have the body properly weighted and things like that. And you just fucking throw them in. And then you go home and there's a form that you fill out for like the EPA. And actually I have it. Hang on. I have it in my book of shadows. Now, I've showed you my spell book before, okay? And that's a little bit different. Like, I've actually worked magic on those pages in that book with sigils, stuff like that. And that's, those are spells in progress or set in there. This is, and I won't give a tour, but this is my actual book of shadows it's a binder that I got, and I put paper and a little thing on it. So I decorated it, and it's a binder so that you can sort things and you can have different sections and move things around. And one of my sections in here is death. So it has things in here like a page for like promises that I've made to various deities so I don't break them. And it's written in coded language. It's written in like a code in that witch's alphabet thing. I use that because it's a handy code. You can pick up translating it in your head really quick, and you don't have to worry about it being a different language or grammar or anything like that. You just write it I just use it as a code. So anyway, I'm looking for the death section. Oh yeah, Jen, you put tabs on it so you can easily find the death section. So in the death section, which also covers past lives and things, I have this. This is very important. My family knows it. Okay, this is a piece. This is an envelope, and inside the envelope, I have the instructions from the EPA and a burial at sea reporting form, so that my family has this when I die. They can just go, oh yeah, you got to get it in Jen's thing. I also have the contact number for info on body dumping. Okay, it's an EPA contact number in here. And then when I die, my family knows, okay, it's in the death section in Mom's Book of Shadows that we can only ever open after. Mitskere Chekinet, Asmonia Kahirech Lakum Fugta Afayet, and Meglex Kaptam Afayet. The Nebigos, there are Tatlan Vayok. What's up? So anyway, that's, I guess, some witchy death planning I'm sharing with you. yeah, so that's a part of my thing. So that's a part of my death plan is I have the forms already printed out. And then of course, as years go by, every few years, I update the forms and I check things out and I make new instructions. And that way when I die, my family will be able to actually carry out my thing. Not guilty. All right, so I think I did pretty good in that role. I think I was pretty good. What, does my Hungarian sound good? Does anybody speak Hungarian? Does anybody speak? Hey, did you come see me in that, or were you out of town or busy doing something, Mark? Were you there? Because if you came, I didn't see you. Anyway, yeah. So if you speak Hungarian, I'd like to know if I got my accent right because I worked hard. Like I even did Duolingo Hungarian on the side. Like even though I just had to know that stuff, I was like, oh, I won't understand tone and inflection and all that shit. So, oh, you speak Hungarian, hey. Whatever, Mark. You know somebody who can get you the video. I would never do that. Ever. Ever, ever. Okay, now I'm just shuffling. So, what does 2020 hold for me? So she/her here has asked, what does 2020 hold for me? This is not me, not me. What does 2020 hold for the person asking the questions? Actually, you know what? I'm not going to use those cards. That's right. You know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use these other cards. I'm going to use these really fucking super positive ones because I want you to get good news. Okay, so we're going to use the Chrysalis Tarot thing that is impossible to fucking shuffle because it is so stiff. It's ridiculous. I made you cry. I'm sorry. I did feel bad though. I did feel bad because like a couple of people in the cast were like, your scene really bothers me and I don't listen to it. I was like, oh. Okay. Here we go. These are really stiff. So what does 2020 hold for this questioner that asked? What does 2020 do for them? Let's find out. Let's find out. Oh, okay. Okay. I think this one, I am almost 100% certain that the booklet for this one didn't specify. And I never know. I never know if the booklet, like, here's the thing. Let me smoke. So I never know if the booklet that comes with the thing, if I should read that, if I should interpret that as whether or not there's a like I should read the reverses of the cards, because some decks come and they have a little book and it says that they're it says that like, you know, like, oh, here are the meanings and here are the reverses. But if there aren't reverses, I think was the deck designed to not have reverses in mind. And so that always throws me a little bit. Anyway, I will read them as reverses. So the first one that comes up is Ravens. The Magician, because it's number 1. So that's the Magician card, traditionally. Oh, it even says the Magician. Okay, it says 1 and Magicians. Okay. I'm not as clever as I fucking thought I was. All right, so that is what's happening. You are going to be in a tree full of eyes. The eyes are going to get eaten. Congratulations, you are going to be in a Jim Henson movie. No, no. What I'm gonna say from this is, oh my gosh, they aren't even eyes that they're eating. They're like little like crystal balls. Somebody watched Labyrinth when they were drawing these. So yeah, the Magician always generally means creating something like miraculous and wondrous, or being able to, you know, put a veneer of, you know, on something. And, you know, reversed generally I take it to mean lying and being deceitful. This wasn't reversed though, it was upright. So it's really just showing you that you have a lot of potential. Wait. There's 2 ravens. And it makes me think of Odin's messenger ravens. And if you notice, this person is dropping this onto them. This, well, not person, raven, but is dropping this. Is going to hit this dude. I am going to go ahead and say that another warning that this card is giving you, and I'm getting it really, really super strongly now, is you need to watch, in 2020, you need to watch out for gossip, and you need to watch what you're saying to people. So zip it, lock it, put it in your pocket, and be aware that there might be an issue out there having to do with what we're seeing on this card. Okay? So the next card that came up is Death Reversed, which I am taking to mean not, because when I read death this way, I'm like, some big change that you can't do anything about. It's coming. It's going to happen no matter what. But I am seeing, which is kind of a weird thing to do with her, because she used a string. Well, it did cause a change that she gave Theseus the string so that he could get out or something, right? I was just talking about this. Weirdly, this came up today. Anyway, the point of the matter is, you're not going to see a big change this year. 2020 is not going to be the year that your life changes. 2020 is just going to be a year. And we have this is one of the things I like about this deck. I don't really know, and I didn't really pay attention to what the cards in the minor arcana were representing. Okay, so the King of the King of Mirrors is the Sojourner. Well, since I don't know what, I can't rely on, and I'm not muddied up by the thing of, it's pentacles, so it means this. And I don't think the mirrors actually are pentacles in this. So instead, we're just going to look at this guy real close. He's the King of Mirrors, and he is headed out with his horse, which is interesting because you usually don't see the kings going out on a tarot deck. Usually it's the knights, but this is the king. And self-reflection. It was reversed. I think it's saying that you're going to need a lot of self-reflection. You are going to need to really examine what's going on with yourself and get it on lockdown. This is kind of saying 2020 is the year that you need to get your internal shit together and watch out what other people might be saying about you type thing. But it's not going to be the year that there's this like dramatic fucking like, you win the lottery, congratulations. That's what 2020 holds for you. Yes, it does. This smells like, okay, have you ever been in a dairy? This is very specific. It smells like the empty, sanitized milk tanks at my mom's dairy farm. I mean, my mom and my stepdad, which, my mom and dad, basically. Maybe like bonus dad type thing. But it's weird to call him dad because, I didn't meet him until I was 18. Because they got married when I was 19. Which is why my siblings are super young. That's what? What did I say? I'm confused. I took way too big a fucking bong rib. That was just way too big. Oh, I get that. That's what she said. I get it. Quote. Yeah, that was fucking clever. Let's do some more with these cards. These are exciting Mage Night. Not in a weird way. Not in like a Henry Cavill in Witcher kind of way. I saw somebody online say that he looked like you'd have to bolt him to the wall to fuck him. I think I said this last week because I'm still fucking blown away by how funny that was. And then Scarlett Parrish like sent me a voice recording of her saying Henry Cavill looks like you'd have to bolt him to the wall to fuck him. But see, that's the kind of shit that like you can't say on Twitter because then somebody's gonna like snitch tag your horny tweets. I am so mortified when that happens. So mortified. So mortified. Like when Petra's not here, but I'm still gonna say it. That when Petra met Anthony Head and told him about my book, and she's like, yeah, my friend wrote a dirty book, and like the main character is inspired by you, and he's like a dom, and blah 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 blah. I was like, why? Why would you do that? I got a couple more that I have to do because I know that at least one of these tonight was yours. So you can put it into the box and then like next week maybe I'll do it. I just feel like that would only be fair. I got to get another one here. So my current relationship, this is for Pip. Pip, what a fun name. That'd be a good character name, like Pip, Pippin, Pippi, something like that. Oh my gosh. Oh, my mother was a Montessori school teacher. This is Pippi talking, by the way, not me. My character named Pippi, her mother was a Montessori teacher and named her kids after children's books. So like her name's Pippi and like her sister's name is Amelia and, like Amelia Bedelia. And then, yeah. And then her brother's like Stuart. Look at that. I made up a whole character. Thank you, Pip. Whoever you are out there. Thank you for telling me that, Yeah. Wait, what's kind of cool? Battleground Theater, what's kind of cool? Right, yeah, Beezus. Yeah, you wouldn't name a kid Ramona, though. That's like naming fucking naming a Rottweiler Loki and expecting your couch to remain intact. I'm not naming my fucking kid Ramona. Okay, so this person needs to know. So Pip is saying, oh, well, I guess I shouldn't have had so much fun with your name, Pip. Sorry. My current relationship path. I'm not sure if I'm overthinking it or not. Do I go forward or break before it completely destroys things? Let's get a look at, you know what, Pip, I'm feeling generous tonight. Let's do a if you leave, if you stay comparison. Top row, if you leave. Bottom row, if you stay. All right. If you leave. If you stay. Okay. All right. Keeping in mind, please, that this is a tarot reading. It's possible this is all fake. I don't know what anything is or does, okay? So for all I know, I could be telling you messages fed to me by a demon who is trying to trick you, as Mr. KB would have said back in the day. And that was when I was in school, and that was my religion teacher, Mr. KB. And we used to sing. There was a kid in our class who was weird. That wasn't me. It was a different weird kid. Like weird in a charismatic, funny way, not weird in like an off-putting autistic way, which is how I am generally perceived. He like would sing Faith to Mr. KB. Like we would drum on the table and he'd be like, well, I guess it would be nice, like, and then we would say like, then he would be like, KB. And then Mr. KB, he was from Trinidad. So he had like an accent and he'd be like, all right, settle down. Settle down. It was very funny. He was like a funny guy. He was fun. He was really young. I felt bad for him because he was like, now in hindsight, I'm like, I think he was like 26 when he was our teacher. And I don't know how he even shit. I bet he quit being a teacher. I bet he fucking quit entirely. I bet he quit Catholicism. I bet after what we fucking put him through, I bet he is wandering the wilds, like getting in commune with nature and like returning to like the roots of our Stone Age ancestors, like just because he's like, fuck it, these kids have ruined my faith in the human race. I have to go live among the trees. Like I have to go live with the plants and the dirt and the elemental stuff because these kids were so bad. Anyway, you're welcome. You're welcome for this. See, earlier when I was like, I'm not drunk enough. All right. All right. So, like I said, this might be all fake. It might be demons. It might be any, like, it might be anything, okay? But just take this fucking, this is just a part of the puzzle, okay? Because I'm saying this because I don't want to fuck up anybody's life. All right. But what I have in the top row is, if you leave, we've got the Two of Mirrors. We've got swans. Swans mate for life, I guess. They have mirrors on their neck here where they reflect each other. And this is turned over. So I feel like this is signifying when you leave, like how deep the connection is, I guess, or how deep the potential connection is. And it no longer, it no longer being, you know, possible. Then the next one, the Five of Stones. Okay, I'm looking at her. She's crying. There's stones around her. Everything's broken. Now listen, I'm not going to interpret that one yet because something really neat happened. All right. The next one is the Six of Scrolls. We have a lady communing with an elephant. Again, I don't know what the thing is. I'm just going off of the picture, okay? It's the first, I'm an intuitive reader. I read things off the picture, and the first thing that came to mind here is an elephant never forgets. There is going to be regret if you leave, okay? Now, here's the thing. I can't promise from this reading that if you stay, you'll be together forever, okay? It's not saying either way. What it is saying is that one way is going to end with like no closure. So if you leave, no closure. You'll never know. And that's pretty strong in the first thing here. So if you don't leave, we have the Star. The Star, let's take a look at her. It's this beautiful lady giving, I don't know, glitter, a pile of glitter to horses. She's giving a pile of glitter to some horses. You can really only take that as a positive, right? So the Star is pretty much always about inspiration. It can be about emotional inspiration as well. There's very much an energy around Star of hope, and navigation is a big thing with stars. So like a hope and plans of where you're going and stuff like that. It's just, you'll end up examining that, I think. Now, here is the spooky, spooky, freaky thing. Right beneath the Five of Stones in the top one, in the what'll happen thing, okay? Here's crying, sad, winged lady. What would that be? Like a fairy? Crying, sad fairy. And a bunch of stones. Okay, spooky times. Ready? Spooky times. Right beneath it. That's, if it's pixelated and you can't see it, there's a monolith, a big stone monolith. Ring of stones. It's all perfect and pristine. And here it's like, oh shit. And here it's, look at, it's all built. So I think this is a really strong sign that maybe you would regret not working, or at least giving it a little bit more effort before anybody calls the thing. Because again, the top row is very much saying you will not get closure if you walk away now. But there is a chance to build something. And I just feel like that, or at least complete something, basically. Like if it's not build a life together and stay together forever, at least you will complete something. You won't have all those jagged edges. Wow, this is like just the most. Okay, so the next thing that came up is the Six of Swords, or it's not swords, Six of Stones reversed. What we have here is a bunch of ornaments hanging in a tree. If we turn it this way, interestingly, both ways looks like roots. Both ways. It looks like the branches are roots in the sky. When you turn it upside down, it looks like this is branches and has stuff on it. So I think what this is telling you is that you could go either way at this time. Things could continue. If you stay, things could degrade. But they could also create a foundation. You could also, whichever way it goes, you're not going to get closure if you leave now. So that being said, if you're being abused or exploited in some way, then get the fuck out. This is all fake. That's what I want you all to remember. There's a high probability that this could be fake. Okay. Oh, we got a past lives question. I love this. Guys, start talking about past lives in the chat. That's what I want to hear about. I think we've talked about it before, but I still want to hear about it because it's exciting. All right. And I'm always interested to hear about those things. Always. Fingers better be typing. What can you tell me about my past lives? I've tried guided meditation on YouTube, and the most I've ever gotten was a glimpse of a young woman in an old white dress and an overhead view of an old car, Model T Ford, I think, having run off the road and into a field of wheat corn. So here's what I'm going to tell you as somebody who has done a lot of past life regressions. Generally, I only have very few images. So that one might be one that you want to try to explore and just keep concentrating on, because like some of the lives that I have the most images of, it took years and years and years, like literally years. And so like there's one past life that there's one past life that I had just a few little snatches of, but I had no idea or that of what it could be. And then I went on my honeymoon, and then while we were on our honeymoon, I visited the home of the person. And it wasn't like, it was just a weird thing. I was like, oh, this is the room from such and such. And oh, this is the chair that I sat in by the fire the night that, like my wife walked through the room and like just all this stuff. And it just like kind of was like, bloop, just kind of like all opened up. But like I think that's a pretty unusual thing to have happen. I'm reading you guys' stories. All right. So, but let's see what we can tell let's see what we can tell her about her past lives. Okay. Let's take this literally, because this looks like a very, very literal thing. Ace of Scrolls. So got a bird on a scroll with some keys. And so what I'm going to say here is this could be a sign. Take whatever imagery hits you first. When you look at this, what feelings does it evoke? This is how we're going to do it. I'm not going to read these. You're going to read these. What feelings do these symbols evoke? Like a rave, we've got like a raven or a crow, a scroll with arcane markings. There's some keys. There's a tree in the background. It's just after sunset. Okay. So you can see the moon in the sky. What do those symbols speak to in you? Likewise, we've got next the Lovers. What do you feel when you see that card? What do you, when you look at it, what captures your eye first? There's an old wizardy guy at the bottom, and there's a cat, and there's a happy sheep, and there's a bunny and an owl. There's a buck. There are two doves, like meeting beaks in the middle. There's a horse. What do all of those things mean to you? Do you know what I mean? No, I was not Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, I thought you were talking about me, and I was like, no, I wasn't. You're talking about this. I was like, what? No, I wasn't. I did not marry my cousin. I was not a pedophile. Psst, Edgar Allan Poe was a pedophile bastard. Okay. And then the next, we've got the Six of Scrolls here. What does this speak to you? We see scrolls. We see a fairy lady, very gentle with an elephant. What does an elephant represent to you? Do you have some cultural significance with an elephant? Does something in this card resonate with you in some way? Is it the posture? Is it the animal? Do you feel like it's a location like India, something like that? Take all of those things, look at them, fucking pause the video if you wanna, and just fucking go to town. You know what I mean? Like, just and see what's up. And just keep trying, because eventually you do get it. Eventually you do. I think I'm making I filmed a video about this, but I haven't edited it and put it up, and I might redo it because I kind of was like snarky. I guess I think I was having a bad day. And it was like about the Cleopatra thing. Because here's my thing. I say this a lot. Somebody had to be Cleopatra. Someone had to have been Cleopatra. Can't be everyone. So I don't automatically dismiss someone if they have like well-known and famous past lives. I've got like two like that people in like, you know, specialized areas or whatever might know. But there are people, you know, who you meet and all of their past lives are famous, you know, and they're like, oh yeah, I was Cleopatra, and then I was Anne Boleyn, and then I was, you know, and you're like even with people that like sometimes will overlap or time periods will, and I've noticed quite often that the average person who is into past life regression will be able to tell you about all sorts of anonymous lives, all sorts of them, just tons of them. And then like maybe one or two or three notable past lives. Somebody had to be Cleopatra. But when you're talking to someone and they're like, I was Cleopatra and Mary Magdalene, and I was, you know, a Vestal Virgin that got buried alive, and it's all drama all the time of like famous stuff that like would just pique their interest. You know what I mean? So somebody had to be. Somebody had to be. Wait, are you talking about Edgar Allan Poe being Egyptian? Wait, what? Oop. I've gone to, there's another thing is I went to like a pain therapy, and I don't want to hear any fucking bullshit about me going to holistic stuff because fucking I'm in pain all the time, all day, every day. I will do what I want to get rid of it. And if those things where modern medicine has failed to come up with a cure or a practical way of managing the condition, I will do all the loopity-doopity shit. If they came out tomorrow with a pill and you took it and you didn't have fibromyalgia anymore, bam, I'll take it. Thank you. Maybe I don't need these crystals. Peace. But now, at the point that I'm at, I'm doing that stuff. So, yeah, but it wasn't that long ago, Tammy. It wasn't like it was 2,000 years ago. It was like in terms of the span of human time, Edgar Allan Poe was pretty recent. So I just feel like thousands and thousands of years ago. Anybody ever watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force? But anyway, the point of this is the point of this is that I went to a place where they did things like for chronic pain and chronic injury, and what they like, it was a meditation thing, and they would be like, oh hey, you know, this part of your body hurts because, and it was kind of like Reiki, but it wasn't Reiki. It was like something else. It was like this lady's like own healing system that took from a whole bunch of different things. Anyway, they what do you call it? Ooh, sorry, I'm just, cards are mesmerizing me. Anyway, you would go and they'd be like, you know, hey, if anything comes up, and like a whole bunch of like my pain spots are have to do with like injuries from past lives. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Because it is. So yeah. Uh-huh. I almost started singing Holla Back Girl. No, I ain't no Holla Back Girl. I ain't. In fact, no Holla Back Girl. That's like the second Gwen Stefani reference I've dropped tonight.
No doubt.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Is that my cat? Hi. You are a cat. You are. You want to come up here? Because you're going to have to say hi to the people. Where are you going? You want to say hi to the people? I swear to God, if you pee on that, I'm going to be so mad. I just suggested you say hi to people. Is she sharpening her nails or digging to pee? Okay. Because sometimes she makes it clear. She left. She was about to jump in my lap, and I said, you want to say hi to the people? And she just like left and like clawed up a magazine on the floor. So anyway. This shit is bananas, Maggie. Bananas. I'm going to go like listen to that. I extremely loved that song when it came out. So that just tells you how fucking bad music was in the O's, that was like fucking mind blowing. Like the only good thing that was happening in the zeros was Outkast. Full stop. That's it. Outkast. Outkast. Everything else, Outkast. That was the only good thing happening. I mean, like, I do like Britney Spears, but only because like it's like in the charter. Like when you aren't straight, we have like these meetings where like all of the gay people and the lesbians and the bi people and the pan people and the queer people just like all show up, and we talk about like who's going to be the next straight person to be a gay icon. And then we're like, Britney, you know, like she's had it rough, and we identify with her because like she's had like some shit, like people are not great to her, so like we identify. So then like then we voted, and so now I have to like Britney Spears, or else I can't go to the meetings anymore. Yeah. Yes, it was a meow cat, and she did not want to say hi to the people. I'm like always trying to get her to give me a kiss on camera so I can get like video or something. She won't do it. She won't do it. Okay. Hang on. Oh, no, I don't need that to do this part. I just need this. Is it lagging? I'm sorry, I'm lagging. I'm sorry, I'm lagging. Okay, so my friends want to kill me because I always go on retreat and I sing everything to Alicia Keys. And so like anything is like, this girl is on fire. So one time I picked up a rock and I was like, this rock is a pine cone, because it was like a little fucking pine cone. And I thought it was a pebble. And I laughed so hard at my own joke. I thought they were going to leave me on the beach. I thought they were going to straight up just be like, fucking bye. I thought they were going to make me fucking walk back to the cabin, because I was like, they'd had it. They had it. I mean, there was cat talk, but I didn't get to show my cat because I told her to like get in my lap and she could say hi to the people, and she was like, nope, fuck that. Okay, so let's do one more reading tonight. Oh shit, I try to dance with people at the store. And then I'm like, why does everybody look at me like I'm weird? Whatever. Okay. That's not farting. My fan is just breaking. That's not like a impressively rhythmic fart. I just have this here fan that is ridiculous that Mr. Jen bought, and he's like, oh, it was on sale, and it's supposed to be like this super like ion something. It's supposed to be like this great fan. It is so anemic. The stream of air is so just weak. It's like having someone stand next to you and like suck on an ice cube and then like blow on you a little bit. That's what this is like. And then it now is having the audacity to be fancy but also breaking. Anyway. Okay, here we go. One more. Give me some direction on my job search. It's been 6 months. Okay. Here we go. 3 cards for Angelica's job search. Let's do this. Holy crap. So right now we've got the Tower. That is not great. However, I noticed that they made, is it Kali or Cali? I don't know how to pronounce it because I don't speak that language, but I think it's interesting because while this is the Tower and the Tower is destruction and stuff like that, there's a symbology behind her that, yeah, she destroys, but it also creates type thing. Like it's like knocking, like in this case, like she might be knocking down that tower and then she's, it's going to result in like, you know, something new. Like, okay, now that tree is split by lightning, like maybe something new will grow from it or something type thing. Like it's not just wanton destruction for no reason. It can also be destruction with a purpose. Well, that's what I'm feeling right now. There's something about destruction with a purpose in your job search thing. And I don't know necessarily. Let me check out what's on the next thing. So the 4 of Mirrors, we've got a mermaid sitting here and she's admiring herself from all angles. One of the things that immediately speaks to me about this card is it seems like you're trying to put too much emphasis on, making sure that you present yourself absolutely perfectly and to be everything to everybody that you're interviewing with, which granted you have to do and you have a lot of pressure, but it also feels like it's maybe making you close your eyes to some other things that are going on because you have your eyes closed. So like, you know, it's like, oh, or like maybe you're feeling like, you know, you said it's been 6 months. Maybe it's like, okay, I did this. I did all the primping and preening and now I can close my eyes. Maybe things have changed. Maybe there is something new you have learned, or there is something, maybe you need to go look over I know you've looked over your resume a million times, but maybe there is something that you're going, now I know something, or I have learned something in the interim about myself and my strengths and things like that. That has to do here with like, you know, the whole destruction to make a new good thing. So then the thing here is the Raven, and that is like, it's turned upside down. What I'm thinking is that this is having to do, I said earlier that the Magician usually has to do with deceit, with lies and stuff like that. And then that's I just got distracted because they're trying to put the puppy to bed. Go get in your crate. Puppers, go get in your crate. Crate time. Hey, baby, it's crate time. Night-night. Good night-night. It's crate time. Good girl. No, she's not a good girl. Go get in your crate. Damn it. Anyway, sorry. So what I'm seeing here is maybe I can't tell if this is saying you should be dishonest, like that in interviews, or if it's saying you shouldn't be dishonest. So if you're a very honest person, it's saying tone that down. If you are a very dishonest person and you know you've lied about stuff or misrepresented things, do the opposite. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, what smells bad? Oh. Anyway, there's stank wafting out there. Stink wafted. Okay. Let's see. Thank you for saying that about sacrifices, because I forgot that I was supposed to do something for someone that I asked for help. So, all right. So next, and sorry about your cat. Sorry. Next week, same time, same place. Let's get together. Maybe my fan will be dead. Who knows? All right. Peace out, everybody.